Hello viewers, this is Ify Fashion. Welcome to our channel. Yes, I'm so excited to do this quick video on how to cut a African straight open jacket. It's an African straight open jacket we are going to do today. So these are some items that is required to do this jacket. Please, if you're just tuning into our channel, please subscribe, like and share our video on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Thank you. So today we want to do a straight jacket, a straight open jacket with a stone. We want to put stones on it. So these are what we require. So this is a piece of fabric. Yeah, it's a sleeveless. So we will need like 2 meters, 2 yards of this African fabric. And use any designs of your choice. So presently we are using this one. This is the African material we are using for the jacket. And this is we call it gumstay. We call it violin. The hard violin we'll put on the side of our jacket to stiffen the neck, to turn the neck around. We need a thread. This is the body webbing window that we use to do the sewing of the jacket. So this is a cloth violin. So we'll stick it on the main fabric to give it that stiff effect of the jacket. Yeah. Then this is the line. This is there also. So this is the lining. Yeah, we'll put a lining inside. And this is the stones. We're going to use stones on our jacket to design it. This is our measuring tape. This is our scissors to do the cutting. And this is other scissors. I'll use this one. It's a lighter kind of scissors for the sewing itself. But this one is for cutting, while this one is for sewing. Then we have a sketch of what we are doing. It's an open sleeve jacket. You can see. It's a straight opening jacket. Just a round neck, armless, and a straight fit jacket. So we'll have the stones on the fabric, but I didn't make a sketch of the stones. We'll see that as we proceed. Yes, thank you. So now we want to start. We put this aside. We'll make use of this later. So now I want to cut the fabric. We want to cut the fabric. This is the fabric itself. So I want to cut the fabric. So I'm starting with the front side of the jacket. So first of all, we check the front and the back. I'm going to use this. Yeah, we check the front and the back. So obviously this is the front and this is the back. So we check. You must make sure you look at the material. You can see this is a horse. So make sure it's standing. We can't turn it around. It must stand. So whatever we are doing, this part will be the base, so that all the horses will be standing. So I fold them. Then this is our chalk. Yeah. This is a tailoring chalk. It doesn't stick on the fabric. Before you finish sewing, all the chalk will disappear, but it's just for you to indicate where you are cutting from. So now it's standing. So this is our horse standing on this side. So this will be our base. So whatever we are measuring, we start on this side of the fabric. So the shoulder will start on this side. Then this will be the bottom part of our jacket. So I have folded it into 2. So I said I want to cut the front side of the jacket. So in measuring this jacket, we need the measurement of the shoulders, the measurement of the shoulder, the bust measurement, the half length, which is the waist, and the hip. But obviously it's a straight jacket. You don't need to be too tight. Yes. So now this is, we measure from this side, which is the upper part of it, the base. So we measure the shoulder. The shoulder is 15. So I'm gonna divide it into 2. It's supposed to be 7.5, but I'm going to put my same allowance to make it 9. I tick. Then the arms, 7.5. I tick on 7.5. So now I want to get the half length. The half length itself is 16. So you tick your lines. So this is the side where we now start doing our proper measurement from. So we just want to highlight this part. So this is the armpit, this is the half length, and now the hip line. I usually use 8. So I'm using that, but I use 8. 8 is a perfect fit. Yeah, from experience, 8 sit perfectly. So now the armpit, the half length, and the hips. So the full length. So the full length of the jacket is 42. So I'm making it 43 and a half. Oh, sorry, let me start all over again. That's 43 and, yeah, 43 and a half. So now this is where the shoulder starts from. So from this shoulder I want to do it again because I get the full length now, which is the full length of the jacket. So from the full length we take the half length, which is 7 and a half. Then the half length, the armpit curve is 7 and a half. Then the half length is 16. Then from there we take our hip, which is 8. So now we have gotten the shoulder, which we did 9. So we'll now curve the shoulder. This is the actual half length, which is this one. So we'll now do the curving. Remember, it's our jacket. A lady's outfit, the shoulder will slope it by 1 inch. But for the men, it's like about 3 and a half. But for the lady, at this edge is where the armpit starts from. We take 1. So it comes this way. And curve it. So from now, we have gotten the where we'll measure the bust from. So the bust is 40 and a half. So we'll divide 40 and a half into 2. Our answer will be into 4, sorry. It will be 10 and a half to quarter. So practically 10 and a half. So this is a free jacket. So add our allowance. 2 and a half allowance. Then we'll come to the waist. The waist is 36. So remember, it's a free jacket. We make we won't use exact measurement. 36, we'll add extra 1 inches and put our allowance of 2 and a half. So now for the hips, the hip is 46. When you split 46 into 4, you split 46 into 4, it's 11 and a half to quarter. So we'll make it 12 and a half plus 1 inches allowance to be 13 and a half. So now we'll now measure the full inch of the hip side. So the allowance and the seam, the hip allowance and the extra allowance there is about 13 and a half to quarter. Remember, it's a straight jacket. So whatever we have on the hip, the same thing will be at the bottom. So we'll come to the bottom of the jacket, we'll tick 13 and a half. Some people use what do you call it, ruler, but with my thumbs. So it's a straight jacket. So now we are done with the side, the measurement of the side. So now we want to come to the neck. So you know, basically the width of a lady's neck is 3 inch, the wideness. So it's the wideness is the width is 3 inch, 3 by 3 and a half. It's just a round neck jacket to be open up front. So yeah, we have our neck, we have the armpit curve, we have the half length, we have the hips and the bottom. So now you can see the check. So we'll cut from here down to the shoulder, we'll cut the armpit, then we'll cut the side, which is the shaping side. Then later I'll put a slit here because this is an open jacket. So I want to make use of these bigger scissors. Then we'll now cut. So this is the front. So we'll now put an opening. Remember, it's an opening jacket. So put it aside. We just place it right on top for the back part of the jacket. You must be very conscious of the material. Which kind of material are you using, and which kind of material are you using? You must be very, very conscious. So our horse is facing up this way, so we'll place the back of the material. This is the front, we just place it right on top to cut out the back part of the material of our jacket. So I'm pushing it out. I don't want us to waste the fabric. I don't want to have excess on the side. Yes. So I'm leaving out 1 inch, and I want to have a join at the center of the back. It's just a straight join. Okay, we know what we did here. In our jacket, in making our jacket, the back is usually longer than the front. The back is 1.5 inch, always longer than the. So this, you can see it from the upper side, is 1.5 inches longer than the front. So this enables the jacket to sit properly, like this English suit. So now remember our 1 inch sloping here. So the same sloping will still occur at the back of the jacket. Yeah, so this is our sloping. Yeah, so but every other thing still remain the same. Then the neck, remember I said we'll have a join here, so we'll take a chalk to know the exact place where that line will come. Then the width of the back will be 3, so it will be like 3.5, 3 2/4. So this will enable the back, after joining it, it will enable it to sit properly when you are when you are putting it together. So you won't make it exact 3 that you did the front, the width of the back. You make it slightly with 2 to 2/4. Then the length, the deepness of it is 1.5. So it's 1.5 by 3 2/4. So you tick. So now you just put your scissors. So now we want to cut the front. I'm done with the back part of the fabric of our jacket. So now I want to cut the front, but I want to use the lining, the same material to do the lining of the front, because this jacket is an open jacket, so they can see it when it's open. When it's another fabric inside, it will not. Some people can actually use it, but I don't want to use a different fabric, the lining, to do the front. I will use the lining for the back, but on the front I'm gonna use the same fabric. So now I know I have done all the measurements, so I just fold the part, fold it into 2 with the back inside, then I want to cut. So it's exactly, I'm not going to add anything, it's going to be same. So but remember, it's a lining, I want to use that as a lining inside, so I'm going to reduce the one I'm using as a lining. It will not be the same length with that of the main fabric. So now this is the right one, this is the main jacket, and this is the lining one. So I just want to use a chalk to identify it, please. So now I want to cut it. I want it to have a princess that's on the side, on the corner. So remember our half length, I said the half length is 16. So you place it from the shoulder, you take 16. So it's an open jacket. So obviously the seam I will use to sew this part is 1/2 inch. So I'll take off that 1/2 inch, and from that line I'll place my tape. So the width of our princess jacket will be 5 inch. I'm using the inches side. So it's 5 inch. Then this part also will be 5. So now I want you to sit properly on the body of the jacket. So what I need to do now to cut so this is the half length, which is 16, and the lower, we call it the underbust. The underbust end on 15. It depends on individual. Some people's own is 14, some are 14.5, some is 13, so it depends. But for this person, it's 15. So from that 15, I will now measure 8. So this 8 is the measurement of the bust length. The bust length is 8. So you can see my 15 and the measurement of 8. So in between that 8, so the center is 4. So from there we'll now get the breast point, which is 11.5, starting from the shoulder. So remember, we are taking off 1/2 inch here on the side for the hemming of the side of the jacket. So we'll place our tape from that 5 inches and measure the width. So the width is 5 as well. So we'll tick here. So we'll now come at the end of the half length of the lower bust. So measure 1 inch here and 1 inch here. So it's coming, make it like a V on this side, on this side. So the same thing will happen here and the same thing will happen here. So it's 1 inch, 1 inch. So now you can see we have gotten our breast point there. So we'll curve it and straighten it. So the length, the measurement, that princess bust will go straight down. So this is half. So we'll curve it from here. I don't know if you see it, but you see it clearly when I'm doing the cutting. So now I've been able to get my princess that will sit perfectly on the bust side. Okay, so now I want to cut. I'm cutting both the lining and the main fabric. So now that 1 inches I take in, so I want to cut it off. So you can see. So do the same thing here. Then the same cut here. So you can see. So by the time I finish joining it, so you see that is sitting. It will keep the breast, it will fit in on the bust part. Yes, so now this is the main fabric. This is the main fabric. So this is the main fabric. So this is the main fabric now. So I want to reduce the, like, remember we're using the lining with the main fabric as the lining. So now we can make the same length as the lining of the lining of the fabric itself. So we reduce it to 1.5 inch. So the lining will be shorter with 1.5. This will give it a nice pulling edges. Yes, it will pull it from properly, and it will look very nice at the end of sewing. So I took 1.5 inch off. So I don't want to cut it off completely, but I'll do that when I'm doing the sewing. So now we have our lining, our material left ready. So remember, I showed you at the beginning of the video that we're using a cluster and a violin. So the violin will go on the side of the lining, while the cluster will stick on the main fabric. So this will enable our jackets to have a very strong effect after designing. So this, remember, this one is the lining. I want to take it off, and this is the main fabric. So I just want to put the cloth. I want to stick the cloth stay on the main fabric. So look at the sticky side. The sticky side will stick on the fabric. When it's smooth, nice side will be, we'll stick our iron on top of it. For the sticky side to stick on the lining. So we'll just stick it nicely on top of the fabric. But it's usually done at the back of the fabric. But this is the main one. So we'll just stick as cluster. So this will enable our jacket to stand nicely. You have to, after sticking it on it, so just cut the extras. Yeah. You just follow the actual line where the material stops. And just cut it off nicely. So take off the extras. And you come to this side. You open up the princess that is covered with the cloth stay. Because you will stitch both together, so if you don't take it off, it will not allow you to stitch properly. So you can see we are done with both sides of our front. We have sticking the both sides of the front. So now we'll put it aside. So now we'll go to the back side of the same front. So this one we'll use our violin. This is our violin. We will not stick it all over, we'll just stick it on the facing side, on the middle side. So we'll stick the violin on the neck side. So it's just, so we'll not fold it to the end, it's just small. So this will enable it to stand also. So it's not only standing on the main fabric with our cluster, so but the lining with our violin will make it also to stand very firmly. So we just cut the neck. So I've cut this one. So we just put it aside. So this is the violin. We split the center into two. This is for the both side of the front, for the left side of the front and for the right side of the front. So we'll just place it. We'll stick it on with our iron, just like we did for the cloth stay. We'll stick it on with our iron. Our iron is hot, ready to stick. So we stick the other side of the neck as well. So a nice hot iron can stick the violin itself. Sometimes you can even choose to sew it. After sewing, you cannot stick. So we have a place that is left here. Yeah, the length of our violin could not cover the full length of the landing part of our jacket. So I took some half. I'll split it into two so that I can use it for the both sides. You must check because the one that sticks on the fabric is a bit shiny. Yeah, it will stick on the fabric, and you place your iron on the plain part, not on the shining part. So you just level it. Make sure you didn't cover your space allowance where you used to join the jacket together. So this is the lining of the front and the main front itself. So they are both ready for sewing. So this one is the back. So remember I said the back we are using the lining for the back. So we'll use the lining for the back. So this is the lining we are using for the back. So you fold it into two. The lining of the back should be folded into two as well, so that you can place it right on top of it to cut. All the measurement has been done. The width, the bust measurement, the hip, the waist, all has been done and recorded. So all we need to do is just to place the material on top of it. So remember I said the lining will be shorter with 1.5 inch. So the main material will be longer with 1.5. So this one I don't want to start cutting it, I just want to do it straight away. So you can see it's shorter with 1.5 inch. So if you are just passing by, you just come across our video, you are highly welcome. This is Ifi Fashion. Ifi African Fashion. Ifi African Fashion is a fashion designer that designs both ladies and men's wear. We work with all kinds of fabric, being it lace fabric, African fabric. We designs outfits nicely. You can follow us on our website www.ifisafricanfashion.com. So the details of all the videos we have shared in our YouTube channel, you can get the details, the description, the written details on our website on www.ifisafricanfashion.com. So now our lining is ready. So we just need to cut. Yes, we have cut the lining. Remember I said you have one inch join at the center. 1 inch join at the center. So now we want to do the take out that 1 inch join. Place our. Yes, some people might not want it, but it adds more. It gives joining. It's actually looks very nice. It's more formal. It won't look that African, but it will be more formal. So now remember the width of our dart is 5. So we'll take 5. Then we'll come to this part. The same 5. So we are using 5 here and 5 on the arm side. So we curve it. So this one, same straight away. So it's 5 on the arm side, the weight is 5. So we're using the same 5 straight down. So now, so open up our joint at the back. We'll do the same thing on the lining. So the reason why I'm opening it is that when after joining it, so that we can open it up to iron it nicely, so that it will relax and it will actually look very nice. So that's the reason. So we should be very mindful. Remember, it's 1.5 inches longer than the back. So we take here. So this is our half length. So 16. I don't know if you didn't know what I did now. I use the back is 1.5 inches longer than the front. So from that 1.5 inches, I put my tape on here. So I place my tape on this part to get the actual half length of the dress, because this part will go to the front, and now I have 60. So you must always take note of that half length, and you can even deplete it by notching it. So when we get there, we'll go in slightly to give our jacket that effect. So now we have done that, you just need to cut. I'm cutting both the lining. Yeah, so you stop somewhere. So I'm just trying to do the ironing of both. So remember, I will stick the cluster on the back part. Okay, I want to put the violin on the lining part, but it's just on the neck of the fabric. This is I'm sticking it on the neck of the jacket, the back of the jacket. So the back is ready. So now the main line, the back. So we repeat the same thing to stick. So we're going to stick the same cluster on the back of our jacket. Okay, I'm sticking the other side of the back. So this will enable the jacket to stand very nice. Yes, remember it's an African jacket. It's an African open jacket, so it's nice when a jacket is standing. Okay, so you just trim the extras. Where the fabric stops, that's where you're trimming with. You stop some those edges. So just remember, those extras, you keep it for something else. So just open we call it princess dart. Okay, so now it's the armless, so we don't have no sleeves on this jacket. So now we are done with this, the cutting. So we are going straight away for the preparation of this jacket. Yeah, stay tuned, like and share our videos on all the platforms. Welcome to the second phase of our teaching and learning on how to cut an African jacket. It's an African open jacket. So we've just finished with the cutting of the jacket itself. Now we are doing the sewing of the jacket itself. Please, if you're just turning in, please like, and subscribe to our channel. Share our page, our videos in YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You know the season, you can also do it at your own comfort zone. You know the season we are now, COVID-19. So in this era now, it's very encourageable for people to do their own outfits, to sew their own clothes themselves. Yes, you can also do it at your own comfort zone. So the little teaching we've been doing since, I know you have learned something so far. So now we'll finish with the cutting of the jacket. So we want to put it together. So we want to sew, this is the center, this is the back. So we want to sew the center, we'll sew it straight here. Then after sewing it, we open it up and do the princess that. Yeah, please watch and stay tuned. So I'm using my reverse stitch to lock the seam at the beginning of the joining. Okay? Then put it straight. So this was where we notched the half length. So I just want to put like a bit of shape. I don't want to take it straight there. So yeah, more like a C curve there, just to put the shape at the back of the jacket. Then we'll use our revise to lock the seam at the end of the joining. So now we'll open it up. So we're stitching the princess dart, one side of the princess dart. So I'll push up our presser foot with 1/2 inch. You use the reverse stitch to lock up your seam. Then you stitch it straight up. So on our other video, we talked about how to thread the sewing machine, the function and what it actually does. So if you watch that video, you understand how to use the machine itself and what all the parts, what it does in sewing your outfit. So we have done the joining of that one. So we do the other side of the princess dart. We are joining the other side of the princess dart. Your joining must be 1/2 inch, not less than 1/2 inch. I'm using inches. So some people use centimeters. It's the same thing. All you just need to do is to check the equivalent of what it is in inches to what it is in centimeters. So use our reverse stitch to end our stitch. So after sewing, you must see that what I sew, is it in line, is it straight? If it's not straight, you can also see it. You can pick up where it's not straight and try to straighten it. You can't just sew and don't have a look of what you did. So I can see there are some parts that are not so straight here. I want to straighten it up. Okay, so we check the princess side. Okay, I open. So we are done with the main fabric, the join of all the seams, and the same thing I did here was what I did on the lining as well. You can see all the seams, they are the center one, the princess that they are all joined. So what we need to do now, we just need to put the neck, we turn the neck with the lining. So place it, this is the back of the fabric, of the main fabric, of the main jacket. So this is the front. So place is front to front. So place the front of the lining and the front of, yeah, on the same side. So you must take note of the joining. You must keep it open. Yeah, you must open the lining one and that of the main fabric. So I want to sew the neck and just stitch ½ inch to turn the neck. So we are turning the neck with the lining itself. So we'll start. Bring our first circle down, stick our needle to it. Use our reverse stitch to hold the neck. So we curve it. Stitch the neck, you just notch it, so the notching will make it to relax nicely before we do the top stitching. So for the top stitching, so we stop stitch on the lining side. Yeah, we put the stitch, the ½ inch on the lining side and top stitch. So we usually call it top stitch. You know, all field and all profession has their own language. So that is the language of the sewing. Fashion industry use the word top stitch. So we are top stitching the neck. So we have done the top stitching of the neck. You see the top stitching of the neck. So it will enable the neck to sit nicely. So we're done with that. So now I want to put the lining at the bottom. Turn it around. And this is the center. I'm opening all the princess dart allowances. Because I'm gonna press iron it. And it's nice when it's open. So when you iron it, it will give you a nice look at the end. It will not look like there's any joint there at all. So but when you didn't open it up, the end product does not actually look nice. So you can see all the seams are open. So check. You see when you shorten the lining from the main fabric, so this is what it usually look like. That's it. So when you do the ironing, for you to see nicely how it looks. So our back is ready. So the next thing after joining the front, then we can now join the shoulder. Front. So I want to start with the princess dart. So this is the front. So I want to start with the princess dart. I'm starting from the top from the bottom to the top. just open it up here. So when you are joining the princess that the armpit side, the bottom side, not the neck side, you pull it, make sure you pull it nicely. And sometimes if you don't pull it, it will not be equal with the other side. So you pull when you are joining it, and you can see nice equal. So we do the same thing on the other side. I just want to keep it open for my ironing. So you split it out completely. So this one is the shaping side and this one is the neck side. So you must pull this one when you are joining. So that at the end of the day it will be equal. You see I'm pulling it now. So now we have done the joining of the lining and that of the main fabric of the front jacket. So now I want to turn the sleeves. So we turn from the front to the back. So we place our lining, the lining part of our jacket on the surface of the front of the jacket, the front jacket. Yes. So this is the neck part. Okay. So this is the front of the jacket. So this is the back. So I want to join it now. So I'm placing the front to the back. Yes, I don't want to do separately because there is no arm, so I'm going to use the lining to turn the armpit. So the lining will be separated from the jacket. They will only have a connection on the neck. So that's what I'm trying to do now. So I'm joining the shoulder, the back, and the front shoulder of the main fabric together, not the lining. Half-inch join. Then I'll take the other part of the front and place it on the front of the back of the jacket. You can see that's what I'm doing now. So now I've joined the main fabric together on the shoulder. So now I want to join the lining. So the linings will be joined against the lining itself. So this is the front of the lining, the lining of the jacket, the front lining, and this is the back lining. So I want to place it at the front of the back lining and join. 1/2 inch joining. And then we'll join up the lining itself. So now I want to join the other side of the lining. So place it on the front of it. So it's front versus front, then you join. If you put it the other way around, you will mix it. So at the end of the day, one side will be front, the other side will be the back. But once you place the both fronts to face each other, you do your joining. When you turn it around, you get the right joining on the perfect side for it. So now I want to use this lining now to turn the neck. I've already turned some part of the back leg, so I'll just continue from there to turn the front. I always keep my seams, my joining open. So when I'm lining it, this is a jacket, so it has to look very neat. So after ironing it, you have that nice look. So I'm opening it up, so I'll turn the neck. I want to turn the other side. So I'll open my seams. It's a U neck, so you must curve it the shape of the neck. So after doing that, you notch it with your scissors. So this notching will enable the neck to relax when you are doing the top stitching. So you put the joining on the side of the lining side. So remember, the lining side is the one we put the violin, the thick violin. So top stitch right on the lining side. Put our needle, push our presser foot, pull it up, then bring it down, then you make sure you pull the fabric, you pull it on each side nicely. You must pull it on the side of the lining. I'm sewing the neck presently. So you push the seam on the side of the lining and do your top stitching. Then you revise your stitch to lock the both end. But this is a permanent stitch, so you need to put your revised stitch. So you come to the bottom. So we'll use your lining to turn the bottom of the jacket itself. Half-inch joint. Make sure all the joints are open. And do the same thing on the other side of the front of the jacket. You join it as well. Yes. So remember, it's an open jacket in front, so meaning both sides of the jacket will be closed. So after doing the setting of our jacket, we'll close both sides. And so I don't want to stitch this folding at the end of the side of the front jacket, because at the end of the day I'm still going to use that front to close it up. I stop like 2 inches before the end of the fabric. Yes, so I'm still going to use that part before setting. So now we have turned around, we have turned our lining, we have turned the bottom of the jacket with our lining. So we want to stitch the side. This is the front side. This jacket will not have anything in front, no zip, no button. It's just an open jacket. So we just put 1.5 inch. So you can see, because we make our lining shorter, so our lining is on this side, while this is the main fabric. So you can see for making it shorter with 1.5 inches. So this is what you see at the end. Okay. So remember our top stitching. So top stitch. You know the story already is to stitch on the back of the other side, the back side of the lining side of the outfit, not on the main fabric. Stick it out nicely to the scissors. Okay, and now it's ready. And we do the other side of the front as well. We turn it up with the lining. We have turned the bottom, we have hemmed the neck. So now I want to sew this. Yeah, the center of the top of the main jacket. Remember, the jacket will not have any zip, no button. It's just an open jacket. So the sleeves, you just want to join it and turn it around with the lining. So we are joining also with 1/2 inch. We are joining it with 1/2 inch. So using these scissors, we need to trim off all the excess thread on the sides, or any fabric left over, like the one on the princess dart. You see how I use our scissors, what is useful to trim off all those excess thread while you are sewing. And do our reverse stitch to lock your stitch, because it's a permanent stitch, not a temporary stitch. So the reverse lever is very important. So now we do our top stitching. This is the back, which is the lining side, but this is the main fabric. So push the seam to the lining side and do the top stitching right on the lining of the main jacket. Check your thread. For those of us who are struggling on how to thread your sewing machine, we did a video on that. You can watch our channel, check on that video on how to thread your sewing machine. So that will be a guide for you, and it will make it so easy for you to thread your machine. So this is we are doing first. Okay, so that is it. The lining side. So we have prepared our jacket. So now we need to iron it to do the setting and then finish it. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, we are making a African suit jacket. It's an open jacket with the stones on it. Yes, please, if you're just tuning in, subscribe to our channel, like and share our videos on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Yes, so we've done the cutting, we've done the preparation. Now I want to do the ironing and the setting of this jacket. Yes, this is Ifi African fashion. For short, you can call it Ifi fashion. Okay, so now I want to do the ironing of all the seams. All our joinings, we need to iron it nicely. We're ending up with the ironing. You can see I've ironed all the seams, all those joints I did. I open it all and iron. You see the fabric. This is the cloth. This sometimes you see this when you are sewing. Those stickers they stick on the fabric. So you just use a steam iron. If it's not a steam iron, you just press the water side of the iron. If you sprinkle a little water on it, then you press your hot iron nicely on top of it. Then you see it's already going off. So that's how you take off the label on the fabric itself. So I'm pressing the steam on top of the, so that is it. So it will go off with all those gums. Yes. Sometimes if you don't take it off properly, if you leave the sticks, those sticking gum on it. So that when you steam it nicely, press your hot iron on top of it, then it will go off without stress or leaving the sticky gum on it. Yes. So you can see we are done with our ironing. So you can see our jackets nicely set on the table. So now we will run through the measurement, the actual measurement of the outfit. make sure the front and the back are equal. Yes. Okay, so that is it. So we know the back center of the, you can see the joining of the back. So make sure the front one stays at the center of the back as well. So that when we're setting, everything will be equal. So the shoulder. So I want to do it from this side, from the center of the back. So I can see the line of that line I sewed, that same line I did at the back of the jacket. You know, I did the same thing at the lining as well. So I'll place my tape there to get the actual measurement of the shoulder. So the shoulder is 15, but being that it's a handless, I'm gonna make it 14. So when I split it into two, it's 7. So I'll put ½ inch for my seam allowance. So it's 7.5. So the other side is still gonna be 7.5. So in total it's gonna be 15. After my joining, it's gonna end up being 14. So now I wanna do the armpit. So this is a sleeveless jacket. I'm gonna wear something else inside. So I'm doing the arm 8 inch. But the one with the sleeve will do 7.5, but I'm doing this one 8. So now curve it. So this one is 15. And the one on the side is 14. So now I want to cut our armpit. Do the same thing on this side. So now I want to cross check our bust. So start our bust from the armpit. So remember I said we'll split it into 4. It's 10.5. So remember this is a free jacket. So we're gonna make it it's 10.5. Okay. Okay, the actual measurement of the bust is 40. So but I want it to be 42. So 42 is 10.5. So I tick. So now the actual half length is 16. So you get your measurement of your weight from the length, the measurement of the half length. I know you understood that when I was doing the cutting itself. So from that 16, so the waist is 36. So remember, it's a free jacket. So from that half length, you get the hips, which is 8 inch. So you place it from the center. So We got it as 14, and the actual measurement of the hip is 46. So add extra half inch. That to make it 11 and a half to quarter. So check it again here, 11 and a half to quarter, because it's a straight jacket. We do the same thing on this side. For you to be more sure, you just fold it into two to cross check if everything you've done is equal. If it's not, you check the side that is not equal and you just trim it, flip it, and level it up nicely. There's some part that is not. I just want to level it up. So you cross check this part if the both sides are equal as well. On the shoulder side. So now, both the shoulder, the bust, the waist, the hips, they are all equal. So we don't have this problem of sometimes when you are doing the preparation, they end up not being the same. So that's why this setting is very important. Once you do your setting, then you go and close your jacket up. At the end of the day, you see that everything is equal and it's actually looking very, very nice. You can see our jacket is ready. It's almost ready. You can also do this in your own comfort zone. It's a very free jacket. It's an open free jacket, African jacket. Yeah. It's very fashionable and it's very, very nice. Yes, you know African is in trend now. In Africa, fashion will never go out of fashion. Even most people all over the world, they want to come put on an African fabric to make something new. And with this one, you can wear it with any kind of English material. If you need a tight or a jeans, you can just flip your jacket on top of it and off you go. Okay. So I notch the center. So now we'll just put it all together to join the side. And then our jacket is ready, then we'll put our stones and here we go. Okay, if you're just joining us now, please subscribe to our channel. If you like our video, share it on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So we've done with the preparation and the ironing and the preparation of our straight jacket, African straight open jacket. So now we want to couple it up, want to put it all together, and I'll have our jacket to showcase as well. Yes, thank you for staying tuned. So remember, we just did our setting, so all these things are open. So we need to use our revise lever to lock all the seams nicely so that they will not start pulling out. So all those darts, we need to stitch it. We're not going far, we just stitch and cut so that it will not lose out. Yes, you just want to lock it up, because if you don't lock it up, it will just start losing out from there. Okay, this one, this is the shoulder side. We'll do the same thing on the lining and on the main fabric, just to lock the edges. Just want to say the same. And turn it on the lining side. Just use our revised lever. So we have locked this one. We have locked, I can feel this. We are left with the back. We need to do the back as well. The lining side. So we do the other side. It's very important to do it before you start closing up. So this is the back side. This is the front. You need to do the front. So if you don't do this, immediately you start sewing, it's like all the seams you've done, you're just losing out. But once you lock it, you're safe. And you won't start closing the sides of your jacket. And this is the last one. now I close all the seams. So one more, join the side of the jacket. So you're not sticking together with the lining. The lining, you stick the lining to lining, fabric to fabric. So now this is the main fabric. From my chalk, I think it's 1 inch. Use your reverse stitch. You must always lock your stitch, your seams at the beginning of it. You must always lock your stitches with your reverse level. You use your tape now. You place your, this is the, I want to do the waist side. You place it at the center of the joining at the back. So remember I said I'm adding extra. Instead of waist 36, I'm making it 37.5. So I take 9.5 to quarter. So you see the reason why I didn't close it up the time I was doing the preparation. I just reserved some space. And when I got finished, you put it in new one, put it inside the bobbin case. So I pick it up with my thread. Pick it up with my needle just to continue with my stitch. So you just got if it's equal or straight. Yes, it is. So we do the other side of the main fabric. The main fabric. So I'm pushing the lining aside. So this is the other side that I stitched now, the side of the jacket. I place my tape right at the edge of that stitch and cross check if it's still the same measurement. If it's a bit free, yeah, it's 42.5. So I place my tape there and lock the stitch. Then you come to the shaping side. You must make sure you're not stitching on top the lining, that you are only stitching on the main fabric itself. Shape it. This one is right at the end, so I have to loosen it here to create that space to connect the lining and the main fabric freely. So we cross check. Yeah, it's fine. So now I want to do the lining and lining. So remember, I want it to be inside out. So the jacket, all the the joining, the seam will be inside the jacket, so you can even know the front and the back of the jacket, except you can use your lining to identify. So what do? Instead of joining it straight like this, I turn it around the other way around. It's the same inch I used to join the main fabric. I use the same for the lining. So do the other side of the lining. So I will give some space that I will use to turn out the main fabric. So I won't close all of it. You can choose to do it from any side, but I just want to do it from here. This 5 inch. So I'll stop here and continue here so that I'll have a hole that I will use to turn out the main fabric, the jacket itself. And take out the machine. Place it here and continue. So open the side, open this side as well, and join. This is the button of the jacket. So now we are connecting the lining and the jacket together. So now we turn it out from the armpits. But the other side I reserved. I will make use of it when I'm done with the armpits. But for now, we're turning it out from the armpits. Then I will turn the armpits. After turning the armpits, we will need that other seam to take out the jacket itself. Yeah. So from the armpits, before we do the turning of the armpits, I just want to iron this part because that's the only way. Okay, I can do it before I turn from the other side. Let's just do it now. So now I'll just push it in. You can see? You just push it in and push it in on this side. So we'll now come on this side. So we'll now pick it up. receive the allowance and the joining, both joining, the joining of the lining and that of the main fabric. Then you place in, you push your presser foot, put it in. You know, the space here is so small, so you have to struggle to pull out the fabric. Yes, but you need to do it with patience and pull it out gradually. So once you get to the shaping side, you stop and start to sew the other side as well. So the space is very small. It's normal, but you just pull it out gradually for you to be able to stitch it on. And you must definitely turn it around with the lining. Yeah, it's an armless jacket. So I've gotten to the shaping side. I lock it nicely and I took it out. You turn it as up. It's normal. You struggle to turn it out, but it's normal. See the side, we've done this, we're done with this side. You can see how it looks. So we're going to do the other side. And so we get in through this arm. It ends on the lining itself. Then you turn it aside. On this one, there is no space to even do a top stitching, so we use it. I do ironing. Yeah, but let me see. It's gonna be ironing, not top stitching. So I want to do this side. So on this side, I push it in, I pull it in. That thing you put in, you just pick it up and turn it out. So you see the way we are pulling the fabric to make sure it's out for you to have a space to stitch on. So that's, I didn't know we didn't lock all those join. By now it would have loosened out completely. So because we put a nice lock stitch there, now go out. And gradually you start pulling it out nicely. Gradually you start pulling it out. Be in a hurry to do that. Just pull the fabric nicely. Pull it out nicely. Once you get to our shaping, join the join of the shaping side. You stop, you come out, pull it out nicely. It's so strong. Yes. So now we are left for this side. So where do we use to turn this side? We don't want to use this side, use this one to go in. So now we'll now look for that hole that will left her side. I didn't finish the stitching. Yeah, so now go in through this hole. Just so. So you just turn all the whole fabric out through that hole to make it easier just to stitch. Just pull it in through the hole. Yes. So we now look for the armpit, the back armpit. Yeah. You see, so it will not be easy for us to sew it without struggling. So you must reserve that hole when you are making your jacket. But at the end of the day, you will stitch it back. Or you stitch it from the outside. Yes. Check almost jacket you see, there must be a place they stitch from the outside. So that is the hole they used to do all the turn-up sewing they did from the inside of the jacket. So when you stitch again. So it stops at the join of the shaping side. Yeah, so I want to do the ironing of that shaping of the one I did now. Just iron it nicely, then I turn it around. So we have done with our ironing of our jacket, African jacket, the open jacket. So now we want to fix the pocket. So we want to fix the pocket. So the measurement of the pocket, the length is 12 and a half. The length is 12 and a half. We measure the length from here. And the width is 6 and a half. So it's 2. We're going to have 2 pockets. So this is for this, for the left side, and this is for the right side. Okay, so now I want to fix the pocket. It's very important for us to know the right measurement that we need for the pocket. So I'm measuring. Some people do from the half length. So from the half length, the actual half length, which is 16, then you add 3 to get the real measurement of the actual measurement of the pocket. But I'm gonna use the side. I'm gonna use the side to do the actual measurement. Yes. So the side, starting from the under armpit, the armpit, which is this is the armless. So from the bottom there, I'll measure 10 inch. So you take your 10 inch. You must make sure it's on the shaping side. Yes, it's on the shaping side of your jacket, not on the princess that side or the center back. No, it's on the side of the jacket. Then from that 10.5, you place your chalk. You place your tape and you measure what? 7 inch. So 10 and 7 inch. So this is where the hole, the pocket hole will be. So first of all, we'll do a reverse stitch, a reverse lock stitch here, and put a reverse lock stitch here and take off this stitch that is already here. So that's where we'll fix our pocket from. So just watch as we do. Put a very nice locked reverse stitch, so in a way the fabric, the thread will not go off in any way. And on the other part that you take your chalk, put a nice reverse stitch there also. So now I want to take off the thread, the sewing that I did there before, because I've locked the both sides where the actual pocket will start and where it will end. So now I just want to lose the other stitch to keep it open for us to be able to fix our pocket on. Remember, we have cut the material for the pocket. The length is 12.5, while the width is 6.5. If you're someone who does not want so deep a deep pocket, you can make it 10 or 9.5, as the case may be. But you know, these days people have things they put on their pocket, even if it's a phone. So a deep pocket will accommodate the phone, no matter how long the phone is. So yes, see, it's open now. I've taken off the thread. So now I want to fix my pocket. So you open the fabric. The front side must face. You start with the front side. You must push it a bit up, like 1 inch up. Then you must make sure you stitch on the same line that you did your lock stitch on. You must stitch on the same line that you did your lock stitch on. Put your thread, the thread went off, so you pull it back and continue your sewing. So you see I'm stitching on that open space. I must make sure. Yes, you must stop at the same line of the main fitting of the shaping of the jacket, that line you did your lock stitch on. So you see, so now I want to do my top stitching and push my top stitching to the side of the pocket. So I'm sewing the other side. So I fold it in and make sure it didn't exceed slightly exceed the main allowance of the jacket. So now I put my thread still on that line that you do your top stitch from, your lock stitch from. So you put on your lock stitch. Close our pocket. So you start from where you stitch it. You start from where you started your stitches from. Make sure you are right on top of it and curve it. So we are done with one side of our pocket. So we come to the other side. Check, make sure it's the shaping side. Then you put your tape under the armpits. You measure 10. Must be same measurement. Then you measure 7. Then you put your lock reverse stitch. Then you move your presser foot up. This is the other one. So you take off the stitch at the side, the one in between, the center stitch. Either you can use a pin or you can use razor blade to take it off, so that you can have a space to put your pocket. So this line that we are losing now, that's where our pocket will sit. place your to be like ½ inches longer than where you started where you stopped your lock stitch from. Then as I put it in, I can feel that lock stitch, so I must make sure I put my needle on top of the lock stitch so that it will be same after sewing the pocket. You will not see a hole in between. Then I can feel the other hole, the other lock stitch that I did there. So now I'll do top stitching. Place the other one. Close the pocket. Sometimes you can double it. This is a pocket. So it will not take off so quickly. But this is a jacket as well. Then you double the other side, the bottom. It's optional. You can choose to double it, you can choose not to. But sometimes you might start. Those strands will get weak and it will start going off, losing out. Yeah. So we are done with our pockets of the both sides. So now we want to turn the jacket around. Remember the hole that we use, but after turning it out, you seal the hole. We close the hole completely. Okay, so now I want to close the hole. So this is the hole where we did the turning of the armpit, the inside. Through this hole we get in to fix the pocket, the side pocket. So now we can't keep it open like this, so we have to close it up by putting a stitch on top of it. So just pull it nicely. Don't forget, any stitch you are making, you must always put a reverse stitch to lock up the seam properly, except it's a temporary stitches. Okay, so now let's reverse it and lock it nicely. Make sure the lining and the both edges of the fabrics are meeting properly. You can see it's locked, so it's closed properly. So we can't see any way to get inside the jacket. Except there's anything to do, it's through there we can still get in and fix whatever we want to fix on the jacket. So now we just want to put more iron and we put our stones on the jacket. Okay. Okay, so we just need to iron. After ironing, then we start putting our stones. Yes, remember I said it's a jacket, an open jacket, African open jacket with the stones on it. So we've done the sewing, we've done the stitching, we've put the pocket. So before you put your stone on, you need to iron the fabric to straighten up all the sides that seems not to be straight. Then after then you start putting your stones. Please, if you like our video, share it in this share our video, like and share our video. Please, if you are just watching us for the first time, this is Ife African Fashion. Subscribe to our channel and also get an update on our website. On each of these videos we make, we put an update, we give a detailed description of what we did. Yes, in our website. And our website is www.ifesafricanfashion.com. Thank you for watching. Now we're starting with our stones. So you can see, you just drop it. You see the shining side, the reflecting side, and the dull side. So this side has the gum on it. It's a very nice gum. It sticks on the cloth, the fabric with the iron. So you just place it here, the dull side on the fabric and the shining side on top. So we're gonna go around the houses. So now you stick it to make sure your iron is very hot. Then you put your iron on top of the stones. You leave it for a while. So you press it on the stones. In doing this, you have to be very patient to make sure the stones stick perfectly on the fabric. Yeah. Even if it's being washed, it stays like that. It's very hot. You can see it. Yeah, you can see our stone is sticking nicely on the fabric. You can see. So now we'll go to the horse number 2. First of all, place all your stones on the horse, around the horse. So it depends on the fabric and where you want your stones. If you want it all over, or the design on your fabric will determine how you want to design your. But this one has a horse, so we'll have to do a stone around the horse. So you place all your stones on the lines where you want it to be. The beauty of this stone is when they are wearing this jacket at night, the way it will be glittering. It will be as if the person is wearing a diamond. It's a jacket, but it's a jacket with a difference. To actually grace any occasion you comes in with. So it will be formal and also corporate. I'm done with the second horses. So we want to stick our iron on the stones. Yes. So you're putting your iron and steaming it at the same time. So this steaming helps the stone to stick perfectly on the fabric. Okay, you can see we are done with this one. So we're gonna repeat this same process on all the horses on the fabric. Yes, so this is, we're still gonna do the same thing we did here on all the horses. Please stay tuned. Yes, thank you. Absolutely ready. You can see the stones, they are all sticking to all the parts of the jacket. Yes, we have done all the sticking of the stones. Our jacket is amazingly ready. You can see both the front and the back. You can see the inside of our jacket. This is the inside. This is so amazing. You can use it for any kind. It's so formal. It's so you can use it for, yes, for any kind of occasion. Yes, what an amazing jacket. The stones all over. So I want to fit it on. Yes, I just want to put it on top of what I'm wearing. Yes, so that you can see how our jacket actually looks. See our jacket. You can see the pocket on the side. You can see. On this side we have the pocket as well. You can see our jacket. Put your both hands on the pocket. See? So please, if you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel, like and share our video in Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Thank you and stay tuned. Bye. Yes, if you like what I'm actually wearing, you can see. So beautiful. So you can as well order it on our website. It's available with making for celebrities, for any kind of individual. It's an amazing jacket. So if you like what I'm wearing, you can also order it from our website on www.ifisafricanfashion.com. Thank you.